Football at St. Thomas Aquinas High School was a dream held by many, but first introduced to the public by Chuck Spangler. With Coach Pete Valenti to organize such a program, who could say no? Little did anyone realize that Coach Pete's tenure would be so short. But it is one more legacy attributed to a great person. The Falcon Boosters next presented the idea of creating a football field at the west end of the campus. At one end it was woods and at the other a swamp. An elevation difference of nearly 2 feet from one end to the other could not dissuade the dads, and so they set to work cutting down trees, sawing logs, splitting them into firewood to be sold so there would be money to pay for the gas for the tractors, which suddenly appeared on campus. Bill Thomas and Jerry Lyons were the faithful woodchucks who hauled and split logs from the fallen trees. Other mammoth pieces of equipment mysteriously arrived on campus from time to time. "We need them," Grady Yard would say, "and when we're finished, we'll sell them." Tons and tons of dirt had to be moved from one end of the field to the other. Some men were more skilled than others at managing Grady's dump truck, which was known to stand front end up on occasion. As always, the Ciolinos were on hand with their tractors too, to do whatever needed doing. Weekend after weekend, for the entire year, a crew of men appeared early on Saturday mornings to work on the field. Miss Frances Ard served coffee and donuts to keep them on task. The track surrounding the field grew from 4 lanes to 6 lanes to 8 lanes, and from gravel to asphalt. At a cost of $20,000, it was the only major cash outlay to the school. It took weeks of packing and tracking before the asphalt could be poured and the lines painted. Mr. Floyd, the incredible engineer with a 5th grade education, was in his element when working on the field, and his results were precise. Keeping a field green in Louisiana meant lots of watering. The Gills of Amite dug a well, and it was yet another donation to STA. Dickie Davidge checked on the electrical hookup. The pump for the well needed to be secured, so the next project was to build a pump house. Chuck Spangler, John Zinna, and Art Freeney were the main construction crew for this project. The little house proved to be quite a project and was truly a work of art. Naturally, it had to be color coordinated in burgundy and gray to match the other buildings on campus. The construction was a tedious project, but the final product was truly a joy to behold. Even the goalposts on campus were the handiwork of an STA dad. Fashioning them in his own shop with the help of his workers, John Finch created the massive goalposts. They spent countless hours working on them in his shop. The installation required heavy equipment, lots of talented manpower, and tons of concrete, which was always a ready gift from the Ticers. Everyone seemed to get into the act, but no one could realize, unless they had watched this project in operation, how many tedious hours it took to install the base, to make sure everything was in balance before the actual goalposts could ascend in the air. It was a proud day for John and his men when everything was finally put into place. Even Chad Ticer, a student, was able to maneuver the heavy equipment required to install the goalposts. Finally, the day came to sow the grass seed and activate the sprinkling system. It would take time to convert the clay field to a carpet of green, but the dedication of that field to the man who won everyone's heart, Pete Valenti, was a banner day. Truly, Valenti Field is a field of dreams. The completed field is valued at $250,000. It is impossible to name all of the people who contributed to the creation of Valenti Field, and equally impossible to do justice in describing the dedicated work that went on week after week. But like St. Thomas Aquinas High School itself, it is the love and the will of the people that made everything happen.